absence of mentioning of any roosters in here. And he said the intent was no male fowls would be allowed. So be no roosters of any type would be in here. They'd still be able to lay eggs. Just wouldn't have any chicks on there. That was their intent on there. So, again, I'm comfortable with what Mr. DeVito was going with recommending that city attorney review this and return it back to us.
Okay. Mr. DeVito, you want to restate your motion, please?
I would move to place this ordinance under review of the city attorney and bring it back to the table as soon as possible.
Thanks, sir. Motion been made. Is there a second?
I'd second that.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on it? Vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion carried. Goes back to Mr. Weaver. All right. That one's out of the way. Number 2 is the ADA Solution Arkansas Rural Development. Submitted by Mr. Levine. Motion to discuss.
Move to
That one
discuss.
has been postponed? Is that correct? Is that the one you wanted to postpone?
No, sir.
Okay. You wanted to postpone the capital improvements?
Correct.
Okay, all right. That's
I misunderstood.
okay.
I emailed everyone a couple of weeks ago a picture and the resolution that's required by most granting agencies for a wildlife recreation facilities grant. And most all grants go through the city. Very few are through any department or commission. What we are asking for in this grant, and this grant does not require matching funds, is to place a handicapped accessible fishing pier and boat or canoe/kayak launch out at Lake Leatherwood. Now, this is something that's quite unique. It's a new product on the market. We're familiar with the manufacturer because they have been to Lake Leatherwood, and they're from Annette, Missouri, and they come down and do their company meetings and various showing people how their dock system is put together. But we have a complete grant application. The total of the application is for $38,524.05. And that includes engineering. That includes the dock and the launcher, a railing for handicap, a curbing for handicap, stiff arms, which will link the docks together, gangways, tacks, ADA parking, concrete area, dock installation, carpentry work, and like I say, that's the total, $38,524.05. And I'm asking for a resolution to allow us to put this grant in the mail. We had 27 letters of support sent to us from various groups, the Boy Scouts, CAPC, city agencies, private individuals, when they read about this in the newspaper. And if I could just share with you my favorite letter, and I've redacted the name because I don't want the young man to be embarrassed, but he is a Boy Scout, and he said, I am, let's call him Little Johnny, and I belong to Boy Scout Troop 67. I frequently go out to Lake Leatherwood to canoe and fish. I enjoy the lake and geese. My grandma was getting in the canoe, and she fell into the lake. This would not have happened if there was an easier access. Please consider awarding this grant to Lake Leatherwood. By the way, she's fine.
Thank Little Johnny for us, okay?
No, sure. That's going to go at the top of the page.
Do you have anything else?
That's all.
Mr.
If there's any
DeVito?
questions.
Not having a resolution before us. What's your time frame?
You should have
Oh, I
one
do?
in front of you, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, it's at the back page. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
Never mind.
Yeah. Mr. Powell.
I make a motion that we approve the mayor signing the certification letter and assigning a resolution number, reading it, discussing it, and then voting to approve it.
All right. Motion been made. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Ms. Mallon?
Since there was some paperwork going around a little earlier that kind of
Yes, ma'am.
outlined all of this, and I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Oh, you didn't?
I'd
Okay.
like. Well, no, it just flew around the
Okay.
page to the table right now. I'd like to have a chance to review the original grant application and all the paperwork associated. So I'd like to postpone this until next meeting, if possible, please. I move to postpone this till next meeting.
Well, we have
Motion
a
on the
time
table.
issue.
Wait. You
Oh,
have
sorry.
a time issue. Well, then
I believe this
I'll
is
retract
in
my
order.
motion for right now and let you perhaps tell us a little about
It's
that.
time sensitive. The grant needs to be in the mail by March 18th, and I like to get them in there a little bit early so that if there's a problem or something that's missing in the application or something they'd like to suggest that we do differently, they have some time to shoot it back and we can send it back to them. So I actually wanted to put it in the mail next week.
How long have you been working on this?
About 4 weeks.
Then why didn't you bring it to us before this so we weren't under
Well, I didn't
time
have it
crunch?
even at this point
Pardon?
ready for you. I probably got 40 easy hours, man hours in putting this together, getting contractors to make bids. So this was really the best opportunity I had to bring it to you. And I apologize for that.
Any further discussion?
Levine.
Yes,
It's been to planning.
No, it has not.
Okay. I assume your plan is to assist.
Any further discussion? Mr. Powell?
Do we need a resolution for Mr. Levine to be able to forward this on without our action? I mean, I agree with Ms. Balance. The time spent to review it, to be able to look at what's being proposed. At the same time, I recall those days of we've got to hurry this through because we've got a cutoff date, and all of a sudden it's sitting on planning's table or it's sitting on city council's table, and maybe we need to relook how we process administratively grant request. If there's that much of a time crunch after the work has been done, and this table is going to be the one slowing it down, because now that I know that it hasn't been through planning, I have a hard time, even though it's a very valiant effort to approve, which I would approve. Based on that, I have a hard time.
Is this a matching grant? Or is this a
No, there's no
solid
match.
grant? So you either apply for it and don't get it, or you apply for it and get it. Is that correct?
Correct. There's no money
Thank you,
involved.
sir.
That's why I
Ms.
asked the
Balance?
question of why we even had to even.
Yeah. Well, it has to come with a
Whether
resolution.
supporting
for it, so, and y'all have to vote on it. Ms. Bell?
You mentioned spending about 40 hours of your time. Was that time on the taxpayer's dollar?
Yes.
It was.
Mr. Lee?
Grants become available. We were lucky to get $250,000 for the auditorium to do an energy efficiency upgrade. Mr. Levine is the director of parks and knows parks better than anybody at this table. This is a $38,000 grant with no strings attached. It's free money. We're not out any money from the city. We're not having to put up any matching grants. It is an ADA compliant boat ramp at Lake Weatherwood, which will facilitate the use of city property I have no problem in trusting our department heads when it comes to things like this. This is just a formality on our part to approve the resolution so that the city can get an extra $40,000 to go to, as little Johnny wrote in his letter, something that's important to some of the people in the community. So I don't see a downside to this. I think it's a worthy cause. I think we should support it wholeheartedly. Sometimes time is of the essence. We have to trust our department heads to make the right decisions. We can't be micromanaging every department in the city. I think this is a valid request for a simple resolution from the council, and I'm all in favor of it.
Mr. Berry?
Well, I agree, and I think we're might be trying to if we put this to the Planning Commission, and I respect Mr. Pennell's attitude because I spent probably almost 20 years, if not longer, on the Planning Commission, and appreciate all of that it does. However, there's certain things, and especially with grants, we don't know if we're going to get the money. We've got $3,800 in there for engineering fees, and at that time, there'll be drawings, there'll be site work, there'll be a lot of other information. If we get it approved, the engineers can present it to the Planning Commission, and at that point in time, take it on. Right now, all we're doing is trying to get the money. It's free money. It doesn't cost us anything except our director's time in putting the application together, and that's what we're paying for. It's part of it. And so we do need a resolution to show that the support of the City Council and authorizing the mayor to sign it. So I'm totally in favor and commend Bruce for looking out for these grants. The parks have done a wonderful job in finding free money for us.
Ms. Bell?
Well, first of all, there's no such thing as free money. It's coming from somewhere. It's coming from taxpayers somewhere. I do commend Mr. Levine on trying to keep projects going on, keep people busy, keep new things happening. But I am also aware that Mr. Levine has come back to us for extra money and extra money and extra money and extra money. And I'd like to know if you have it in your budget to maintain this structure after it's built.
Yes, we do.
You do. Okay, thank you.
All right. Would the clerk read the motion that was originally put forth?
Mr. Pownell moved to read and approve the resolution, and Mr. Berry seconded.
Okay. Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion at all? All right. Call for the vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
All right. Motion carried.
Thank you.
All right. We need to motion to attach a number to this, Mr. Bell. Mr. Allen.
I thought that was part of the motion, but I'll make it.
Okay.
Read it and assign a number, read it, and then further discussion and voting, as I suggested earlier.
Okay. I didn't hear you say attach a number to it.
I'll make it now.
Did I misunderstand that?
I hadn't heard it, and I'm happy to add it.
All right. All right.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to attach a number to it, assign a number to it. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
Okay. Number?
578.
All right.
Resolution 578, be it resolved by the City Council of Eureka Springs, State of Arkansas, a resolution entitled Application for Grant Funds to Build ADA-Compliant Facilities at Lake Leatherwood City Park. A resolution authorizing the Mayor of Eureka Springs to apply for a grant on behalf of the City of Eureka Springs, whereas the City of Eureka Springs City Council has determined that the City of Eureka Springs meets eligibility requirements necessary to apply for a grant under the Wildlife Recreation Facilities Grant, and whereas the City of Eureka Springs has presented plans to provide